Up until now, we've used the AutoCAD copy command known as copy selection. That's this one here. It's on the Modify panel on the Home tab. However, you can utilize the Windows clipboard as well. You can use copy and paste in a way that you would use copy and paste in, for example, Microsoft Word. So let's have a look at that now. Let's have a look at how we utilize copy and paste. You'll notice here I've zoomed in slightly on this particular drawing. We've got the table there, the octagonal table that we created earlier. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize the copy command, but I'm going to use a slight twist on it called copy with base point. If I click here like so, and then right click on the mouse and go to the shortcut menu, you can see I've got copy with base point. If I click there, AutoCAD now prompts me for a base point. Now I can use a grip, I could use a known object snap. What I can do though, you'll notice on the status bar at the bottom of the screen there, I've got OTrack switched on. So I'm going to use this midpoint here and hover over it, this midpoint here and hover over it. And as I track downwards using my polar tracking, there's my object snap tracking point. So I left click. That is my base point. Now, nothing else happens because all I've done there is copied that to the Windows clipboard using that base point. I can now hit escape and deselect that table. If I now right click on the mouse again though, what I can do, I'm going to zoom in the reception area here of the building a bit more, purely for clarity so that you can see what's going on. And if I right click now, notice the octagonal table now has disappeared off the screen because of the zoom. If I right click and go to paste, there's my object. It's prompting me to specify an insertion point. Notice the base point is the center of the table as previously selected. Because now what I can do, I can use object snap tracking again. I hover over that midpoint of the window there, and I now come down here and hover over the midpoint of that wall. As I track upwards now using the polar tracking, there's my object snap tracking point. I left click and I've pasted that into position purely using the Windows copy and paste tools. That's very clever, you may say, but there's another trick with the base point idea. If I just zoom out slightly and pan across, you'll notice on the right hand side of the building here, my window hasn't been placed yet. Now if I click on this block here for this window, you can see there that there are 4 grips that I could use if I wanted to. It hasn't been converted into a block yet, but what I can do here is I can utilize an exact point that I need to use for those objects that make up that window. We will cover making it into a block later. I'm just going to copy it now again using the copy and paste tools. So I select the middle part of the window, the glazing, and I select the rectangle that forms the outline of the window, those 2 objects. I right click now, and again I'm going to use copy with base point. I pick a point that I want to use as the base point. I'm going to use that bottom right grip there, which is also the bottom right end point of the rectangle. Left click. That has been copied now to the Windows clipboard and has overridden the octagonal table. I hit escape, I right click, but now I can paste as a block. I paste it as a block using the point there, the base point. That is now a block. It's an anonymous block, but what I can do there, I can edit that block as a block if I need to.